I will be doing a quick review on the German Tier 8 TD, the Ferdinand. I have a nickname for this tank, the Ferdy. I got the nickname Ferdy from watching The Great Gatsby. If you have not seen the movie or read the book, then I recommend that you see either the movie or read the book, or even better, watch the movie and read the book. You're not going to be disappointed. This Ferdy, it is a self-propelled gun, which means you can actually turn the gun barrel to the left and to the right a little bit. That's the best that you can do without turning the entire tank around. You would have gotten used to this if you have the Ferdy up to the Ferdy up to this point so far. Of the Tiger 1. The chassis of the Tiger P, it was just extended a little bit to be able to modify the Tiger P so the superstructure could be put in the back and the engine in the front. This vehicle, it shares a lot of the common traits as the Tiger P chassis hull as the Tiger P had when it comes to hull armor. The two spots on the hull armor where you have thick armor, it is the angled plate here, the angled bended plate to the left behind the left headlight here, which bends around to the right headlight area here as well. The second area is where the armor is quite thick, is the gun mantelet and the superstructure as well. The weak areas for this tank from the front is quite a few. The obvious weak one is the lower glacis plate, which all vehicles have this weakness, except for a few vehicles which actually have a very good lower glacis plate when it comes to armor. Also, if you do hit at the correct spot beside the gun mantelet, to the left or to the right, you can actually penetrate that with ease and injure the crew member inside. I usually found the loader and commander in there get knocked out quite easily for a well-placed shot from the front. As the lower glacis plate is a major weak spot, try to find any terrain that can actually cover this and try to get hull down. From Tier 6 up to Tier 8, assuming any guns any tank that you're going to be facing, any tank that have below average 200 millimeters of AP pen for average pen will not be able to pen you from the front. But anything between Tier 8 from Tier 10 that have more than 200 millimeters of pen can pen you with ease. Also, the crew members just behind the thick flat plate here can be damaged and knocked out pretty easily. As a front-mounted engine, you can actually have the engine set on fire pretty easily from the front. So having a fire extinguisher always is a useful thing to have to put those pesky fires out. Also, this vehicle can actually get ammo racked pretty easily. Just shoot at certain places where the crew department is, where the ammo is stored behind the engine compartment, and you will be able to pen and damage the ammo rack if you hit the right area. Also, this big escape hole here is a major weak area as well, but it's just easier to shoot anywhere back here because you can pen it with ease. You may have a problem from time to time. Determine what your gun pen is penning the side of the superstructure. It's just easier to pen the side of the hull or the back of the hull because you will definitely have an easier time penning the hull. With the exterior of the tank talk done about, let's get to the stats of this tank. This Ferdy, when it is fully upgraded, you will have the same base 1200 hit points still. This is a lot of HP as a tank destroyer. The maximum load limit, it is a little bit of shy under 69 tons. The current setup I have, it is exactly 67 tons. This tank, as it is based on a heavy tank chassis design, you are not going to have a good horsepower to ton ratio, but when it is fully upgraded, you will have a tolerable horsepower to ton ratio. The top engine, it is 840. The base engine, it is 600 horsepower. The base engine, you will have a hard time getting around to places in the Ferdy when you're using the 600 horsepower engine. With the top engine of 840 horsepower, you can actually travel around a little bit more quicker, but it's not that much of an improvement. The top speed, it is 30 kilometers. On flat terrain or downhill, you can actually hit the top speed mark pretty quickly. My horsepower to ton ratio, it is a moderately tolerable amount of 12.5 horsepower to 1 ton. This could be better, it could be worse, but with the current setup, I can travel from location A to location B a little bit more quicker than the stock setup would allow me to. The whole traverse speed, it is 21. This is okay. It could be better, but it could be worse. The whole armor, the front, it is a mix of good news and bad news. The most thickest part of the front armor, it is 200 millimeters. It is this plate here and the superstructure. The side angled plate at the front and the angled plate here do not have exactly 200 millimeters of armor. They have less than that. And the lower glacis plate have even worse armor. The sides, it is 80 millimeters. The superstructure have more than 80 millimeters of armor. Due to its angled armor there, it have like more than 100 millimeters of armor if it's angled correctly. But the side penning it's pretty easily if you pen the chassis hull. You may have the odd ricochet if you hit the superstructure, but just shoot the hull. It's just easier to shoot there. And then the rear. It is 80 millimeters. Even with the rear being angled a little bit, it's not going to save you from the VR if you're shot at from that point. The gun on this thing, it is pretty good, except the only downside when you go from the shotgun to the top gun, the rate of fire suffered a little bit. The gun traverse speed, it is 26. This is okay. It could be better. It could be worse. The base view range, it is 370 meters. With binocs, you can have your view range up to 472 meters, but the actual view range, when it comes to maximum view range, it is 450 meters. So anything past 450 meters is just a waste for view range enhancers. The radio on this thing, it is a good news, bad news. The top radio, it is 710 meters for radio range. This is okay, but there are better radios in the game. The stock radio, it's pretty bad, but you would have had gotten the top radio from researching other tanks. With that stats taken care of, let's get to the pros and the cons for this vehicle. The Ferdinand, as this is a Tier 8 tank destroyer, you can get yourself into Tier 8 to Tier 10 matches. I usually got myself into mostly Tier 8 to Tier 9 matches. I got myself into the odd Tier 10 match from time to time. The ways how I played the Ferdinand when I was playing through it to unlock the Jag Tiger, I played it as mainly as a support tank or as a sniper. The other two play styles that I discovered that this Ferdinand it is quite good at, if you know how to use the Ferdinand properly. You can play this as a base defender as well, or if you are pretty good as a frontline tank. I actually have the first replay of the Ferdinand to show you how you can actually play the Ferdy as a frontline TD. You just have to be careful when you're at a frontline TD because you can get flanked pretty easily and be killed. This does require a little bit of time to get used to playing it as a frontline vehicle if you plan to play it as a frontline vehicle. The gun depression and the gun elevation is pretty good for both. The gun elevation is like 13 degrees plus up in the air, and then like around 8 or 9 degrees down for gun depression. Some of the pros for this tank, it have a very good gun selection from the stock gun to the top gun. From the stock to the top gun, you can pen most Tier 8 to 10 with these. I always use a bit of premium ammo when I have problems penning certain vehicles. The whole armor, if you do get yourself into a Tier 6 to a Tier 8 match, you can actually use the armor quite effectively to ricochet a lot of rounds or to block those rounds. The tank, it is quite good to use the very good front hull armor if you can actually get the lower glacis covered or in a hold down location. Some of the cons for this tank, this is a heavy TD, it is quite slow, so it takes a bit of time to get to location A to location B, even with the Ferdinand being fully upgraded. The Ferdinand mostly have all flat armor except for the front heel, but that's not that thick of armor to begin off with. The Ferdinand, it can be flanked quite easily if you actually let yourself be flanked. So I recommend that you have at least someone around you to at least to shoot the flanking tank if you can. Any tank that have more than 200 millimeters of average AP pen can actually pen you with ease from tier 8 to tier 10. Most tier 8s to tier 10s have more than 200 millimeters of pen for their standard AP round. So when you're facing those vehicles, you have to be careful because they can pen you with ease. Some of the side notes that I made when I was playing this tank, the research for the tank is pretty straightforward. You will actually have a lot of the modules researched already, except for the engines. If you went down the heavy line, especially the Tiger P, you would have the engines researched already. Or if you went down from the J Panzer to the J Panzer II, you will actually have all the guns researched already on the Ferdinand. If you from the J Panzer to the Ferdy, you have a bit of grinding to do to unlock the J Tiger. The research for the Ferdinand, it is pretty straightforward, just like the Japanese tech tree grind, which I have covered in depth so far. The research for this vehicle, you will have most of it researched already if you went down the German TD line up to this tier so far, and the German heavy line after the Tiger P. There are only two things that you have to research, two things that you have to research. It is the upgraded tracks and the Top Gun. If you came from the J Panzer to the Ferdinand, you have to research the upgraded tracks, the upgraded engines, and the Top Gun. That's it. The radio and the second gun is the only thing that you will have transferred over. The rest of the equipment you have to research. If you have any accumulated free research points, I highly recommend that you research the modules on this tank to make the grinding as quick as possible. The way how I went about to research the Ferdy, I first used either of the two guns before the Top Gun. Both of them are pretty good. Just use whichever one have your preference. I equipped the tracks upgrade right away when I had it researched. I put the upgraded radio, the second Top Gun, the tool gun that you can use right away on the Ferdinand. It is the tool guns that you actually can use on the J Panzer. The 8.8 centimeter Pak 43 L71 gun, and the 10.5 centimeter Pak L52 gun. Both of these guns, including the Top Gun, uses the same ammo type. But unfortunately, you cannot transfer the ammo across all of the guns on the Ferdinand. You have to actually buy new ammo for it. when you actually have either of those two guns equipped, you are going to be using either one. I used the 10.5 centimeter gun to research the top gun. The 12.8 centimeter Pak 44 L55. That's a mouthful right there. The rate of fire from the stock gun to the top gun decreases from 9.84 down to 5 for the top gun. The pen for the AP, APCR, and HE increases over time from the guns, and the average damage increases from the stock to the top gun. The accuracy slightly get a little bit worse, but it's in the same area, so you can snipe with these when you use all of these guns. The aiming time technically get better with the 10.5 centimeter Pak L52 gun, but the aiming time stays the same for the stock and the top gun. All of these guns are good to use. Just pick whatever one you want to use on the Ferdinand. The main gun that you're going to be using to unlock the Jag Tiger, it is going to be the 12.8 centimeter Pak 44 L55. The premium ammo, you have pretty good pen for just the average AP and premium ammo as well. Also, the HE have somewhat better pen than the other two guns. With this gun, you will have no problem penning many tier 8s, 9s, and 10s. You will just have problems penning 8s, 9s, and 10 that have very good armor. If you went down through the German heavy line after the Tiger P, then you would have them researched already. If not, then get those engine upgrades because you want to have them to make the Ferdy go faster. This thing can be set on fire quite easily. The two engines before the top engine will allow you a 20% being set on fire. The top one have a 15% to be set on fire still. So having a fire extinguisher to the consumables, modules, and the ammo setup. The standard consumables I use, it is a small first aid kit, a small repair kit, and a manual fire extinguisher. The module that I do use on this tank, it is a camonet, binocular telescope, and a toolbox to get my repairs done faster. The coated optics, you can put this on if you want to, but I generally would save this for passive to very aggressive moving TDs like the Wolverine, the Hellcat, and the Jackson, or any TDs that are quite useful on the move and pretty fast. The enhanced gunning drive, if you can put this on if you want to. I don't personally use this on my TDs. You can use the enhanced torsion bar. It's just improve your low capacity, make your suspension more durable, and reduce suspension damage when when it when hull damage caused by suspension during impact. I didn't have no problem having my fuel tank being damaged, so this is somewhat useless fuel tanks for CO2. The heavy sport liner. This is not a bad idea. It just improves your improve protection against ramming and high explosive ammo. Also, it improves your crew survivability a little bit more. You can use the heavy spall liner if you want to, but I don't personally use this. The large caliber tank gun rammer. This is a good one to use, which I generally use it on all of my vehicles. This just decreases your loading time by 10%. With the loading time of 11.25, you can actually decrease it to around 10 seconds-ish, which is pretty good. This, if ammo rack, if your vehicle get ammo racked a lot and this becomes a problem, you can always invest in safe storage and get a red ammo rack class 2 to improve your ammo rack not being damaged. And vents, this is always a good thing to have on vehicles that are not open top. This just improves your crew performance by 5% and improves your tank performance overall. The ammo setup, you can actually just pause the screen to have a look at all of these ammo values when it comes to penetration, damage, and burst radius for the Top Gun ammo. I generally use a mix between mostly AP, which is 17 rounds, with 7 APCR rounds, just for emergencies, or if I have a hard time pinning vehicles like the Moz or any vehicle like that from the front, I would use this ammo type. And the HE, it's pretty good against thinly armored opponents that you can actually do a lot of damage. Around maximum of 788 damage. Even if you do not penetrate the vehicle, you can do some damage with the HE rounds still. Let's get to the 3 replays that I have in line to show you how to use the Ferdinand. Let's get to them now. I am in a city map in a tier 8 match maximum. The tactic that I use in this match, I played as a very aggressive frontline TD. It's important that you understand the strengths and the weaknesses of all the tanks around you, that including friendlies and opponent tanks as well. Map awareness is quite important, especially knowing which fronts you can actually go through to get flanking shots or to get the upper hand at times. Watch how I actually use map awareness here as a aggressive frontline TD. Right now there's a middle there open right now. If there was nothing there, if something was there, I couldn't actually go and shoot at the Type 59. This party here, I one-shot it with the middle open very much. I moved into position to get into a place where I can actually fire at the Type 59 to get a shot on it. I just got back here, wait for it to come forward, and I did a shot that actually ammo racked him The good thing about the Ferdinand, from the stock gun to the top gun, if you know how to use the gun properly, you can penetrate most tier 8s to tier 10 with these. You just have to have a somewhat basic knowledge where to penetrate certain tanks when you're facing them. This KB4 when I do get to actually fire at him, I missed my first shell. I managed to set this KB4 on fire. I did about 280 fire damage right here. From this point forward, my usefulness to the team came to an end. I did around 2,450 damage. That is pretty good to do 2,450 damage. This match I got the second top damage healer. I did the second most damage on the entire team. We really need to have someone to reset cap if we're going to. Oh, we are going to win by capping. Good job, team, for resetting. Overall, I did pretty good in this replay. Let's get to the other two replays so I can show you how to use the Ferdy even more. I'm going to show you how to use the Ferdy as a support and as a sniper role within the first part of this replay. It's rather rare to see a grand total of 6 already in a match. Let me just speed up here, just get to the location at B1 here. This location where I am going to, this is a very good location to be if you're in a TD like the Ferdy. You have your lower glacis plate covered and your superstructure at an angle there, so you can actually ricochet oncoming rounds with ease, assuming the opponent guns do not have the penetration to penetrate your turret, which have more than 200 millimeters of armor, how I am angled right now. Any tier 8 to tier 10 can actually pen you with ease if they have more than 200 average AP pen. Most tier 8 to 10 do have more than 200 millimeters of pen. This is where I made a bit of a new mistake. I went in the open here to get a shot on the KB. It's not a good thing to do that. Note to self, do not go into the open. After learning from that little lesson, I just sit back here and give support fire. I am just moving now to make sure that if artillery was aiming at me, they had to re-aim to hit me. That comment there just tried to hit me due to my angling and armor thickness. That comment could not pen me at all. Maybe if the comment used premium ammo, it could have had pen. This T-29, you see the cupola there, where the radars, where the antennas are. If you hit the cupola in that area, you can pen that area with ease, but it's a very hard target to hit at this angle. If you can actually hit that, then go ahead and try to do that if you have the chance to hit the T-29 cupola there. I tried hitting at the cupola there, but I missed by an inch. I almost hit that cupola. Me and the ZMX, we are securing this front just by ourselves. The next shot I have to get to eliminate the T-29. The left front is somewhat secure. Me and this AMX, we went down this road to eliminate any resistance that we can come across. The 12T there, he is doing a good job scouting this area for anything. He spotted the Sturmamir there. This T-37. Keep a eye on him. I actually hit this T-37 while he was on the move. And this is as far as my usefulness in this match went. I did close to 1,923 damage, which is pretty good. The Artie, we are doing the Grand Artie hunt right now, trying to find the Artie. The Artie cannot be on this side at all, or else they would have had popped up on this side. The two Artie there were spotted at K1. This replay, I did quite well in, except for that one noob mistake when I crossed the ridge there. Let's get to the next replay now. This myself into a tier 10 match maximum, looking at the tier 10s and the TDs on their side. I altered my original plans. I am planning to play this match half cautiously, making sure that I am not being flanked and always have at least a ally close by. I always keep a hill or a building between me and the enemy tank, so I have at least some form of protection at all times. So far the match is going good. We have the south and the west part of the city secured, except for the northwest part of the city. Right now I'm just getting out here, just making sure it's safe to go, as I have some cover from the right of me. Having a feeling that something is up there, I went back here. It was a correct thing. I got a shot on the back of the T-34 turret. I did about 585 damage to it. I'm just waiting here for more support before I go up ahead there. While that is going on, I am making sure this front is secure so the other forces on the team can go into the city and do some damage to win the match for us. Seeing this T-34 going around this way, I got to the corner here, trying to get the surprise on it. You have to be careful when you're turning this tank. The enemy tank can easily track you, and unless if you have enough gun traverse to hit your target when you're tracked, you are very much in a bad position. This PD4 here, I did a somewhat low damage roll on it. He only had 14 hit points left. Seeing the T-34 occupied, I went behind it to get a flank shot to get the last shot on it. Those little kill sitters, you saw my kill. And this way of thing began to get pretty bad for me. The FV 215B used premium ammo to take half of my hit points off. I think the good thing is in a tier 10 match, you can in theory take some abuse still when it comes to your hit points. Seeing them where the positions are, I think very cautiously, not wanting to get hit again from the FB215B or the WT of PD4. This is as far as my usefulness to the match went. I did 1,551 damage, which is okay. I could have done better, but against tier 10s, it's better to be safe than sorry at times. With this replay taken care of, let's get back to the garage to do a brief recap on the Ferdinand. Now that we are in the garage, let's do a brief recap on the Ferdinand. The Ferdinand is a good tier 8 tank destroyer once you have gotten used to its strengths, weaknesses, and how to use the TD properly. Determine which gun you use on the Ferdinand. You can pen tier 8 to 10 with these if you use the correct ammo type and shoot at the weak spots on the vehicles. This vehicle is a pretty good frontline TD once you have gotten used to play the Ferdy as a frontline vehicle. You just have to be careful of being flanked and any other vehicle that can one-shot you pretty quickly. Overall, I like the Ferdy. I am planning to keep this Ferdy as a tier 8 tank to have and use in the future. I hope that you learn a thing about the Ferdinand on how to use it and how it can be crippled quite easily. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel for more content, or even better, leave a comment in the comment section to put your one bit of information to tell me how I can improve my videos even more. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.